This Jurassic Park Capture Cruiser is always broken. We're going to fix it, do a tear down, make parts, and cheaply make a net for this thing. I'll show you how to do that, so stick around and don't forget to like and subscribe. This was from Series 2, and it's not that typical orange, green, red color. You've got some camouflage here on the top. We have that Jurassic Park logo on the front, which is really cool. This thing is really dirty, but the nice thing it has going for it is we have the harpoon here, the harpoon gun on the back, and we've got the radar system on the back, and we also have these pieces here. Now, this one here is broke, so we're going to have to repair this. This fits on here, so we're going to have to repair that. And this one is half broken, so we're going to have to repair that. And there's some breaks here. And I can see that this could be pretty easy to break as a child. This is in really bad condition, and I have to get it cleaned up first before we do anything. Alright, I got the Capture Cruiser all cleaned up, and it's looking much better. It was really, really dirty. I think some child played with this quite a bit, and I've seen a lot of these online, and these arms are always broken, and we're going to get into the details of what it has to be fixed on this, what I have to make, and the things I have to make it complete. And first of all, I found this inside. It's nothing like the rope that I found inside the Death Star. If you haven't seen that, it's a really good video, but it is a cool thing to find weapons inside vehicles or some kind of toy or play set. And I'm not really sure what this is. It kind of looks like a G.I. Joe, like a modern G.I. Joe, a machine gun or something. If anybody knows where this gun comes from, who it belongs to, I'm pretty sure it doesn't belong to any Jurassic Park figures. But, I mean, I could be wrong. So let me know if you know in the comments where this gun is from. First of all, we did notice that these two posts right here need to be replaced, so we're going to fix that. These lattice style arms, they actually extend way out here, and these arms are what holds the net on. This didn't come with the net, like I said from the beginning, so we have to fix these arms and build them all the way out to here. But I'm also going to reinforce these, because I've noticed when I look on eBay, there's almost every example of these, even though it's almost mint looking. These are broken here, and I just think that this plastic was perhaps brittle over time. It may have been brittle right away, right out of the package, and it's really thin. So I'm going to find a way to maybe reinforce all of these connection points and build these out. So we'll do that. We also have to make the net. And another thing that I noticed about this is it's actually missing the steering wheel. So I'm going to make the steering wheel too. So first of all, I got to get this all back together. We're going to go through that, and if for some reason you want to take yours apart, if you want to know how to put it back together, I'm going to show you. So here we go. So first of all, we have this sliding lever here, and it fits just in this channel. It was my first instinct to try to get this together with that in there, but I found that it's a lot easier to deal with the top part and get everything together in this first and do it upside down. Just have to make sure that as we're doing it, that this fits in that channel when I screw it together. So first of all, what we have to do is this goes here like that. And then these pieces slide into here, and when you turn it upside down, the ring part of that little attachment piece fits up there, and then it also clicks into here. Okay, these can fall out as you're doing this, so you just have to make sure before you put it all together that those are slid into there over that little triangle ridge. So we'll do the same on this one, taking this piece, bringing it in underneath, And then you have that. The next thing you want to do is get the lever, this long arm, like this. And you'll notice that fits in there like that. The next thing we have to do is get this all together. Now, you'll see that these pieces here fit into the chassis here, and then these pieces here that holds those clips, that fits right into these holes. So you have to line all that up, plus line this up with this centerpiece on the chassis. So let's see if we can do that. And then to test it out, we just pull this piece in the back and see if that works. And it does. Looks like everything is in. Another thing to look for is when you put the top part of the body into the chassis, that everything fits inside this plastic wheel well here. So they have to all fit inside. The first time I did it, it wasn't fitting in there very well, and then it wasn't allowing this to fall into place. So now all I have to do is screw these all in. There's 4 screws here, and then there's 2 more in here. And I believe there's only 5 screws here. I believe that this only had 5 in it when I took it apart to clean it. So I'll have to find another screw, and it shouldn't be a problem. These are easy to find, and I'm sure I'll be able to find them. So let's get this buttoned up at least. First, I'm going to address the top here. I'm going to put some new pegs in here, and they fit right into the top or the back of the vehicle. I guess this is kind of a Jeep of some sort, and so that's probably the easiest thing that I can do right now is add those little posts. So I thought this would work, and it's close, but it doesn't quite fit in these holes tight enough. And I had this little piece of Lego. I don't know what it's from. I think probably from my last little repair. And of course I'm going to need more than this. So I'm going to just go look and see if I can find some more of this Lego post somewhere. And this is what I'm going to use because it fits in those holes a little bit more snug. And I want it to fit snug because I don't want it to pop out. Alright, so I found this piece, and I think these pieces will do perfectly. as long as they're the same length, and there's lots of length there that I can work with. So I'll cut those up and we'll glue these into the parts that I sanded those round pieces off, and we'll see if it works. Let's see if these fit into those little holes there. Yep, and they fit really, really snug, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So looking at the Jurassic Park figures here, they're about 4.5 inches tall, and they've got quite large hands. So I want to make sure that when I'm making the steering wheel that the plastic is big enough for their hands. And I found this plastic here. It's quite malleable, and I've almost made it into the circle that I want. And I think it's going to work great for making the steering wheel. Here we go. Let's use this hot gun to maybe heat the plastic up a little bit more, and then I want to create a perfect circle with this plastic. Now I have to make the middle piece for the steering wheel, and I'm going to use some styrene to do that. Now that the wheel is done, I need to make the steering column, and I've got this tubing here, and I'm just going to cut a little piece off, and I'll plastic weld it to the dash. Alright, so we've seen the top. I had to take the top off after I repaired it because making the steering wheel would have been in the way. Like that. And then you can see the steering wheel in there. I think the steering wheel looks awesome. It looks really good. Now the steering wheel has to be painted gray, so I'll paint everything that's the white styrene. I'll paint that gray. Next, we have to make these arms. I think I've figured out a way to do this, and like I said, this stuff is quite flexible. It's almost like a Teflon type of plastic or something. You cannot really glue this very well, and you can't use plastic weld on this. I've already tried it a couple times. I am going to be using glue just to glue these pieces together here on this part and on this part here. I think the exact same post is snapped, so we'll glue that together just to hold it, but we're going to reinforce that. But first, before we do that, is we're going to glue these on here also. I'm going to do the drill and pin method where I drill a hole in here and put a paper clip or a piece of plastic in there, and hopefully that will keep these broken pieces at least here. There's one here and there's two over here. Hopefully it'll keep that connected and sturdy. Now once that's secure, then we have to move on to making these pieces that extend out to here. Let me grab my diagram of what it looks like from here to over to the end. And here's my diagram here. I already have a couple of those triangles right here. You can see I already have a couple of those triangles still there. The distance between here and here is about 27 millimeters. Here and here, those are all 27 millimeters. So from here to here, it is a total of 108 millimeters. And then from here to here, because I don't have that piece, I'm just guessing what the width of this is going to be. We already know the height. And the height is from the inside to the top and bottom is 9 millimeters. So if you want to make your own, that is it. So 108 millimeters in total length, 27 millimeters from here to here. From here to here is 9 millimeters inside. Okay, so that's how you build that. Of course, I only have to build half of it, but how I'm going to do that to make it strong is I'm going to reinforce the top and the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some styrene, and I'm going to glue it to the top of this all the way to the end, and from the top of this all the way to the end, and then I'll build from this point on over. So this is going to be twice as thick as the original one, and then I'll make all of my triangle slats on the inside, and then I'll build the back of it with a solid piece of square piece of styrene. That should keep it really strong and hopefully keep it from breaking.
Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs are on the loose again. Now Grant's armed to the teeth and Malcolm's loaded with weapons. They chase down a Gallimimus in the capture cruiser.
Got him!
But the giant electronic Utahraptor surprises them. It's happening again, only at Jurassic Park.
Okay, that seems to be pretty secure on those. If I pull this lever in the back, it's holding pretty good. Now that the rest of the part has to be built with styrene, I can go back to plastic welding. This is way better and not as messy as glue, and it works really well if you have the two plastics that will melt together, because this styrene did not glue to this very easily. It took a couple applications, a whole bunch of accelerator. Now I need to make the last part. I take these pieces and connect them right here. And like I said, I'm going to be using plastic weld to weld these in there. And then we have to start making these triangle braces. So this is pretty much done. These arms are almost done. There was a lot of sanding involved and a lot of dust and everything, but I blew all that dust off and it's looking pretty good. They're super functional, really, really strong. I don't think these are going to break again unless you like drop it or sit on it or something like that. But I think they're going to be strong enough to throw the net. Now, the original toy had these anchor points here with some straps, and those were always broken. And they were broken on these. They weren't even actually on this anymore. So I'm going to make some different type of connection points for the net, and then we'll give all this a coat of yellow, and we'll paint the steering wheel our gray, and then I'm going to show you how to make the net. So let's try that out. Like I said, this is super strong, and I'm excited to have this thing working once again, better than it was when it came out of the factory. So rummaging through a junk bin full of plastic, I found these K'NEX parts here, and I think these will be perfect for holding the net in and also being able to let me take it off. So I'm going to cut these pieces up. You can see that there's 4 of these, and I'm going to need 2 on the front, 2 on the back to hold that net on. And I'm thinking that this will work really well with plastic weld. It's a really hard plastic. I don't know why they didn't use this type of plastic for these arms, because this stuff is super durable and I don't think it would break. I think it would probably bend a lot before it would break. So these are meant to be snapped in, snapped out thousands of times, and I never see these broken that much in toy collections and stuff like that. So here we go. We're going to use this. So from this, I got these pieces here. You'll see that I used the original shape for this to work, and I've left a little piece of plastic here and here. And what's going to happen is when that gets plastic welded to this styrene here, you're going to see that that is going to not only plastic weld that little back piece, but the front piece too, as long as the top. And hopefully that'll keep that really strong, that when that net goes flying to catch the dinosaurs, it will be strong enough to not break off. So let's hope that that happens. If it doesn't happen, then I'll just take these off and I'll just put the net on top. And my idea behind this actually before is to perhaps have it so that the net actually is not attached to this, and when you eject the arms and the net goes flying forward, it actually goes a long distance and hopefully catches the dinosaur. So I'm not sure if that's functional or not. We can try it both ways, with and without these on. Now I have 4 of these. One of my yellow ones went flying, so I had to use the white one. So neither one of these plastic welds worked, so I'm going to have to get my crazy glue out, or my CA glue. So I ran out of this glue, and my Gorilla Glue is hard. I haven't used it in a while, and it's done. So I went to the store. I was out for the last couple hours since the last time I was filming, and I picked up this stuff. This is kind of cool. This is a CA glue. It's called Flex Super Glue. This company makes things that you use for your house. I think they make like caulking and stuff like that, but it's supposed to flex with the temperature changes and stuff like that, and I'm hoping this will work. A lot of times CA glue doesn't work because it hardens really hard, and then if you flex the plastic, the glue will actually just break off. And I'm hoping that this Flex Super Glue will work for fixing toys, because a lot of times I need something that will flex. And I have tried all kinds of different rubber glues and all that stuff, and the only thing that really works is plastic weld. But like we No, it doesn't work on every plastic. So I'm going to try this Flex Super Glue. We'll see if this works on holding these pieces in. To get this paint color, I used X8 Lemon Yellow, White X2, and just a little drop of X5 Green. This is Tamiya Enamel Paint. And for the steering wheel's gray color, I'm going to use X2 and X18. Again, Tamiya Enamel Paint. While that yellow and gray is drying, there's one more thing I have to make before I finish up this vehicle. I do want to fix the stickers a little bit. I'm going to keep the stickers original, but I do need to glue some of them down. Some of them are peeling up, and there is some damage on them, so I want to paint or use some marker to fix the damage. So to make the net, I bought this at Dollarama. It's the dollar store here in Canada. And this is the material. This is a seat cushion, a mesh seat cushion. I'm not sure how well this would work. I've never tried it before. But I'm going to cut this up so it'll never get used. And this is the exact same kind of netting that is used for the Jurassic Park cruiser net. And I think this is going to work perfect. So I'm going to go to the computer and print out a picture of the actual net. And then by measuring the back of the vehicle, I'll be able to print out the net at that scale, and we'll be able to make this net for this vehicle. So here we go. I'm going to go to the computer and print that out, and I'll show you the results of my printout. So here is my printout of that net I found online. Now, it was on a weird angle and I tried to fix that, but it did not end up having the same measurements from left to right. So what I've done is I've folded this in half, and then I traced out the outline of the best parts of this template. And what I ended up doing is taking a piece of paper, it's actually two pieces of paper taped together, and I folded it in half and then traced out what I have here. And while it's folded, I can cut it out. Then I have one piece I can fold out and it'll be the same on both sides, the same shape. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I also took this netting that came from that backrest, and that's going to be the perfect size to cut out this, and we'll do that right now. I'm just going to cut this out and then fold it out and then tape this to this and then cut out the shape, and we should have a net that will work. There we go, it's all cut out, and we just pull this off of this two-sided tape here, and there is our new Capture Cruiser net for capturing our dinosaurs. So we're going to put this on soon and test it out, but before I do that, while I was on the computer, I decided to get some new stickers for this because, well, I started to color them and that wasn't working, and this is such a different shade of color than the one on the front, which obviously got faded along with the plastic here. Ended up getting yellowed, and you can see I've taken some stickers off here, and I took the sticker off here, and I'm going to leave the sticker on in the control panel there, and I'm going to leave this sticker here too because I feel like it's just fine. I'll probably glue that down, but I'm going to replace all of the rest of these stickers. And I found some stickers online. They're not the best color, but they're actually better than what's on here. And so I just printed them out. I'm going to cut them all out, and we'll replace these stickers with this glossy sticker paper here. So here's our Capture Cruiser, and I'm really happy that I put these new stickers on. Even though they're not the right colors, they just make everything pop. Now, I did put the net on, and one thing I realized, I glued these on these arms a little too forward. They should come here, and I should have paid attention to where those went on the original one, so that the front part of this net could be positioned here. And I might actually take these off and repaint underneath this because it's white, and re-glue them here. But let's just see how this works here. We've got the net fastened on these two here on the back, and what you're supposed to do is take the net, fold it underneath, and fold the other side underneath, and then you fold this underneath halfway, and then you put it underneath like that, and that's how you store it. We're going to launch the net, and there you go. Net launched. I like it like that, actually. It looks good. Let's see what it looks like with a dinosaur, and yeah, capture him. Let's get farther away. Seems to be made for a bigger dinosaur. Let's see what we can do with this guy here. These are just a couple Jurassic Park dinosaurs I have in my collection. See how this one works. I guess he has to be farther away. Here we go. Okay. And let's see how it works with a really big dinosaur. I've got my Imperial Singing dinosaur here. Here we go. Oh, and that works better. It works better with the bigger dinosaurs, the taller ones. I guess it matters how much you flick it. It came to my attention while I was fixing this that there's not a lot of room for the figures to sit in there. There's like a little bit in the middle where one leg can go, but where does the other leg go? This figure here probably has the legs that are closest together, and if you look at the box, you'll notice that this figure is in the Capture Cruiser, and his legs are not only closer together, they're actually a little bit more rubbery and flexible than these guys. His legs are a lot more flexible, like a rubber plastic, than these other guys. His legs are really hard to push in, and her legs are hard to push in. But let's see which ones fit in here. Let's see if we can get this figure in. There we go. He does sit in there. I'm not sure if that breaks their legs over time or what, but it probably forces the plastic to make them stand with their legs closer together. Let's see if we can get this figure in. And this guy fits in much better just because of those flexible legs. We got our figure holding on to the steering wheel, and there you go. So thanks for watching this episode of Toys Back Zen. This was a really fun project. This was probably about 8 months in the making. I kept coming to it and then coming back to it and leaving it and coming back to it. And, well, a few things I would have done differently is I would have glued these on back here a little bit better. I probably would have used thicker styrene here so that I didn't have to double ply it. And other than that, It's a pretty cool toy. I think that the fact that the figures don't fit in there very well, that is annoying a little bit. And I think that they should have built this, considering how much tension is put on this from play. They should have built this really strong. And I do know that they made a similar vehicle like this later on in the line, and the arms did look a lot more substantial than this toy. But this is my only Jurassic Park vehicle in my collection, and it's going to look great in my collection with my dinosaurs and the figures that I have on display. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.